July came and July went. How time flies by. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ritz and today I will be talking about the July wrap up. So in July I have read overall 6 books, and out of them 2 were DNFs. The rest 4 I have completed, and there was one book which is going to be carry forward. It was in my TBR which I couldn't complete. So this wrap up I'm going to divide the books categorically. So first I'll talk about the DNFs, then I'll talk about the books that I have completed from the lowest rating to the highest, so that it becomes easier for you guys to understand which book really shined out for me and which book was not that great. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. There were 2 DNFs I had this month, and the first one was Dead in the Air by Ram Murali. Now, this book I really had high hopes, but it really didn't work out for me. There's this guy called Rohan who is basically an NRI, and he is going to India after a long time. So something has happened in his job and he wasn't happy about it. He was let go, but he was given quite some money. So it has to be something has happened which was not right. And there were these 2 guests in a random party whom he met, and he told them about whatever went wrong in his work life. So they gave him an idea to go to India to this spa called Samsara. I think it was Samsara. Okay, and there they were planning to take revenge or something. I mean, I barely understood what was going on, so I am really not the right person to summarize this book. It just didn't work for me. I read 100 pages, and after 100 pages I didn't feel invested at all. uh, the I think the last straw was when I when the author wrote that this guy Rohan was eating his dosa with fork and knife and cutting it to neat clean pieces and eating it. I mean, that is not for me. I mean, I don't know, maybe the NRIs do it and maybe it's okay there, but it is so weird sitting in India in an ashram in a spa and eating your dosa with a cutlery, with knife and fork. So therefore it didn't work for me. I'm sorry. Now the next book I have DNF'd is a very famous book, and I am so sorry guys, I DNF'd it. I really tried my best, but it's as if the universe just doesn't want me to read uh, romances. So it's Happy Place by Emily Henry. Okay, I'm sorry, bye. Okay, so Happy Place is the very first novel of Emily Henry that I have read. I haven't read any of her previous work, and I think I have picked up the wrong novel, because the trope here is, I think, second chance, and I am not into second chance. I didn't know the trope was second chance. Like, I should have known this. I did not read the summary before starting the book. And the trope was, first of all, it really didn't work for me. Like I said, I don't like second chances. The other part that didn't work for me is that I didn't like the male lead, the male protagonist. I didn't like him. I don't remember his name right now, but he felt kind of a guy who, like, just didn't care what was going on. I mean, he felt like cold. He literally felt like cold, and I would definitely not give that guy a second chance. But he felt like, yeah, all right, casual, very cold, and it was just not for me. And I really tried. I'm going to try again this month something in romance, because I really need to read this genre more. And this one just didn't work out, so DNF. Sorry guys, please don't be harsh on comments. It just didn't work out for me. I'm sorry. Okay, now the DNFs are out of the way, and we are going to talk about the books that I have read, finally. So the first book that I would be talking about is The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. Now this book, I had high expectations from this book. people whom I really follow on social media for book recommendations recommended this book and said it was awesome. And maybe it is awesome. It is just not for me. The writing style is impeccable, it's witty, you're going to laugh. But the whole story felt kind of flat. I mean, here there's this ministry which works with the expats who have traveled time. So these expats have already died in history, but they have time traveled these people to current life. And all these expats are given one person with whom they can connect and understand what is going on in today's world. And these people are called bridges. And the whole story, like the 75% of this story, is about this bridge trying to explain her expat what how this world works, like what is uh, electricity, how an oven works, or how a phone works, how Spotify works. 75% of the book is that. And of course there is a love story between the bridge and the expat, and that was fine, but I really got bored because I already know how this world works, and I am so tired of reading the same thing and again and again. And yeah, there is a spy novel kind of a thing by the end of the book, which was fun, kind of fun, but overall this book felt quite meh, and I rated this book a 3.5 star. The next book that I read this month was another high expectation book, which was Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I already have a review of this book and I'm going to link it in this video, so do watch it if you haven't already. So this book, again, Riley Sager is a guy who has set up my expectation on the next level with Only One Left. Only One Left was one such novel which I will read again and again. Tell me one of my best novels out of top 3, Only One Left is going to be one of them. And I had such high hopes after reading Only One Left by him, and when this book came out and I started reading it, it kind of had that vibe, but it somehow failed to really impress me. I mean, it was chilly, it was paranormal, it gave me a little bit of scary feeling, but not much. It was tepid, it was really lukewarm. And the whole suspense thing, it was just so blah. I mean, I wanted a better reason for the murder. Just a better reason. Give me a better reason for the murder, and this book would have definitely been a 4 star, but it just didn't work out for me. And this book is about two guys, like they are best of friends, and at the age of 10 they camp outside one of the friends backyard, and suddenly one friend vanishes in the middle of the night. Only a slash or a cut was found on the tent where these two were sleeping. So it was it was thought that this guy was kidnapped, and then that guy was never found. We never found out the guy's body, the friend's body. And 30 years later, this whole mystery again changes the life of the people involved with the mystery in the first place, which was a good premise, let me tell you, but it just didn't work because like I said, I needed a better reason for the murder. That, the reason for the murder was blah blah. It was a 3.75 star from my end. The next book that I read this month was Samsara by Saksham Garg. I already have a review of this book, and I must tell you, if you're looking for a good young adult fantasy, Indian mythology based, then this book is definitely the one you should go out for. If you loved the movie Brahmastra, then it gives you the Brahmastra kind of vibe, and I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 4 star, and I think it deserves like it definitely deserves the sequel. I mean, I'm waiting for its sequel because I think the sequel is going to be better. I absolutely love this book. Short chapters, very fast paced. The story is cool. Like, there's this valley which is hidden by from the plain dwellers by the seven hills, and inside the valley, the Vanyasa, the valley is called Vanyasa. Inside the valley, the Vanyasis lives their life like munis and rishis without technology or electricity, and their only survival necessity is Himalayan madhu, made by Himalayan bees, and it is very hard to find. Every decade, they recruit 10 souls who actually go on Mahayatra to find more madhu for these people. And there is some kind of conspiracy going on inside this valley, and overall, it is going to give you the feeling of Harry Potter, only Desi style Harry Potter. So, yeah, definitely try this book out. It's a 4-star rating from me. Hi guys, sorry for dropping in unannounced. I just realized while editing my July wrap up that I have not included a very important book which I absolutely loved this month, and I don't know how I forgot about it. But I'm dropping in right now in the middle of this video just to tell you about the book and what I thought about it. After this particular segment, we will be going back to the original video. So, this book that I'm talking about is Love Letters to a Serial Killer by Tasha Correll, and it is a thriller book, and it is completely filled with wit and fun. And I had an absolute amazing ride while reading this book. I laughed out a lot, and in the beginning of the book, I was really connecting to the protagonist, the lady who was actually in love with the serial killer, because she had really been very down for quite some time. She has been questioning herself. Her love life was bad, and she had some really, uh, insecurities. And I think everyone, at least once in our life, have been through that dark phase. It's about how you react to it, what actions you take. Because this lady turns into writing love letters to a serial killer. So women are dropping dead by the ravine like flies, and there is this one man who is connected to all of these women, who becomes the prime suspect and is arrested by the police and is waiting trial. And this lady, she is so forlorn, she is so love lost that she starts writing love letters to this serial killer, and something really happens between them. And once the trial starts, she thinks that she's safe because at the end of the day, he's behind bars. But something happens, there's a twist, and this guy is acquitted of all his crimes and is free. And he comes back to this girl and asks her to marry him. And that is where the story gets interesting, because she starts getting scared and she wants to find out whether this guy has actually killed all these women or was someone else doing the crime. And by doing so, she unveils a can of worms, and it's really really mind twisting story. By the end of the day, I did not like, I mean, beginning of the story, I did like the character, the female protagonist, but by the end of the day, I did not like the character at all. I gave this book a 4-star. The only reason why is like I did not give it a 5-star was I thought that this girl was really whiny, and she keeps on whining about one particular thing, that the other girls are beautiful than her and more pretty, and all the boys are interested in other girls and she's not that pretty, she's this, she's that, she's whining all the time. So that got a bit into my nerve after 50% of the book. But apart from that, the storytelling, the twist, I did predict the twist. By the 50% of the book, I did predict the twist. I knew the plot twist, but I had so much fun reading this book that I enjoyed reading it till the very end, and I gave it a 4-star. And I highly recommend, if you're looking for some fun, fast-paced, good thriller, this book is definitely one of them. Now let's jump back to our original video. Bye. Now, the last book that I would be talking about is Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books, and it is currently the best book that I have read this year. Guys, definitely try it out. It's not a 5-star read. It is a 6-star read. You can't just rate it 5-star, can you? I mean, this book is so good. This book is so witty. This book really blew my mind. So this lady in a small town in Georgia called Lula Dean, who thinks herself as a self-proclaimed philanthropist who decides to suddenly one day wake up and ban all the books that's in the local library for everyone to access. She bans the books which she thinks is, harmful for today's youth. Books really she thinks which are related to pornography or satanic culture, witch culture. She bans the books, but she doesn't even know what the books are about. So what she does is she opens a public library in her backyard, no, in her front yard, and it's called Lula's Little Library, and there she provides access to all the books which she thinks people should read, which is like outdated, backdated books which literally no one should read today. But she provides access to those books. Now, someone in the middle of the night plays prank and exchange the books. So the cover of the books are the ones which Lula approves of, and the books inside the cover are actually banned books. So anyone who's accessing Lula's library is actually reading the book which is banned by Lula. And I tell you, everyone needs to read this book. This book is really witty. This book is so funny. It's a satire, but it deals with so many important topics, like so many important topics touched in one single book. And I was so impressed by Kristen Miller's writing style. It is currently the best book that I've read this year, so I highly recommend you read this book. I gave this book a 5-star because there's no option of giving it a 6-star in Goodreads, and I really would ask all of you to read this book. The society needs more books like this. Now, the only book which I haven't finished this month is James by Percival Everett, and I really wanted to read it because it's a retelling of Huckleberry Finn from a black man's perspective, and I wanted to know his writing style. I have never read his writing style before, and I would be reading this book in the next month. So yeah, that's my July wrap up for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and do let me know in the comment section below if you have read any of these books, or which book are you reading currently. Yeah, which book are you reading currently? And do you subscribe to my channel? Please do. I love you guys. Bye.